What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Furi. In the last episode, we defeated the Strap, and in this episode, we're moving on to something drastically different. Also, can we just talk about the art direction in this game? Like, I know the graphic and texture quality isn't the best, but the aesthetic look to it is very, I'm willing to say appealing. Very pretty. Indeed. It's got a lot of technological stuff to it, but it's also got a very rustic and earthy look as well. And it's all cel-shaded and nice. I like it a lot.
The breeze, the peace. Feels like we could take off and leave this place behind us. But you know better. Nothing is what it seems. We're stuck here, and the real world is somewhere else, down there. The old man coming up. There's more to him than meets the eye. A master of time, so they say. But if he's such a master, if he saw it all coming, why didn't he do something about it? Why didn't he stop it from happening? Or at least warn me? But look where we ended up. He'll try to play it cool. Easy for him, he chose to be here. But we are definitely not cool with this. We are getting out of here. Time to move on. Go cross his path, my friend. The jailer is the key.
Welcome, stranger. I've been looking forward to this moment. I foretold you escape, but not how far you would get. I am glad you made it to me. Time is a picture in motion through eternity. When you appeared, everything got still. You made the picture stop. I'm here to make my clocks tick again. I can't kill you, but I can remove you from my here and now, capture you and bring you back until the next cycle.
And so begins the first real boss fight that gave me quite a lot of trouble, actually. And that is the Line, which is this old man. Now, you can see he only has 4 phases as opposed to the 6 that the other 2 had. Don't be fooled, though. These phases are long, like a lot longer than the phases from the other fights. Now, the strategy I'm using here, I'm actually not using the strategy properly at all at the moment. The strategy for this part right here is what we need to do is break through the mirrors. Now, they have to take enough hits before they go away. Of course, you can't stand in one place too long or he shoots that laser out. Now, obviously, you can see your bullets fire back, but if you continuously fire in a completely straight line, you can also counter your own bullets while continuing to shoot through until you get to him. All you need to do is hit him once, and that advances past this part. Doesn't end the phase, but it does get you going, and you'll see what happens after that. But we did get a little bit of insight. As you can see, as the deeper you get into his mirrors, the more volatile the projectiles are that bounce off of your bullets. The red ones take a lot more hits to be destroyed than the yellow ones do. But anyway, regardless, we got a little bit of insight onto possibly what our little bunny-hooded, bunny-masked stranger is with the dialogue we got leading up to this guy. He says something along the lines of, oh, I guess that does end the phase. I was wrong. That's the shortest phase anyway. So we got to dodge these just as they're about to hit us. You can see just as they pull back. That's how you telegraph it. But you possibly get a little insight into maybe the fact that, I don't know, this and the bunny masked guy knew each other. I don't know. He said, why didn't he warn me? Well, how would you have known each other in the first place? Why would he have reason to if you were also locked up here? It makes you think. Now, there's a couple theories I've seen floating around, and I have my own theory, and I'll get into it as we talk about the game more, because obviously talking about those theories now would actually spoil a lot of stuff, because there's a lot that isn't covered yet. Anyways, obviously you can see the goal right now is to destroy the pillar he's on. The more you shoot it, the harder it is to kill him. Or I guess the more difficult it is to deal with the projectiles. But just keep dodging them over and over, and you should be good. So those will disappear. He sends out a new set of rings. Good, there we go. So now I believe, okay, so he's going to send out all these projectiles at you, but then he's going to stop time here soon. And all the projectiles are going to be stuck in place. So right here, he stops everything in place. And this is when you need to avoid his attacks. And I accidentally went right into that, but then give him a good smacking. So there you go. Oh my goodness, yeah, he's a little bit difficult. He has a bit of a different timing to his attacks. He actually has a little bit more of a delay in his swings than the Strap did. The Strap was more immediate. Now, granted, every time you see a flash, and this applies to every boss in the game, when you see the flash on their character model, just when they're about to attack and hear that little noise, of like it's like a metallic noise, I would say, like right there. Every time the tip of his sword glows, that's how you know when he's about to attack, and that's your time to parry, basically. But don't do it too early, because there is a timing to it. So here he goes. Oh, that's really like the best, really the best the game gives you on when to parry and when not to parry. But it's enough. It's enough. It just is a little bit different per boss, because sometimes they don't always attack in the same pattern. So yeah. This was the first boss fight that really gave me trouble. I didn't game over on either of the first two. I don't think I lost a single life on the first one on my first playthrough. The second one I lost a couple lives, but I still beat it. This guy gave me about 2-3 game overs before I finally was able to beat him. He was no pushover, for sure. And kind of more frustrating for what it's worth, but he kind of taught me more about the bullet hell segments, because the bullet hell segments for the first two bosses were kind of cake compared to what this guy does. He is a lot more about dodging projectiles. That is kind of what he's about. Like, I mean, it's really the focus. He has a little bit of close quarter combat stuff, but really it's not the focus of this fight at all. It's all about, well, first of all, timing your own shots to make them count, but also using them to your advantage so that you don't end up hurting yourself, because all he pretty much does is use your own projectiles against you, for the most part. Obviously, there are some exceptions here. We just got to get rid of this crystal once again. There we go. So I believe he's going to do similarly the exact same thing he did before, where he's going to stop time after he shoots all these projectiles out, and then we're going to get another close quarters segment. Now, his bullet or his final phase is a little bit unique compared to the other fights we've seen so far. It's not just him standing in on one edge of the screen and shooting a bunch of projectiles. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Got to get out of that as quickly as possible. And of course I didn't get any hits off because I'm too slow. Now, something else I want to point out, and as much as I'm not really the biggest fan of electronic music, I like some of it. This game has an astounding soundtrack. Now, I believe every single boss fight song was used by a different independent music creator. I think they're all unique artists. You can get the soundtrack list. You can look it up on the game's site. You can. I think there's actually even an iTunes listing for it. And then I think you'll also get it in the game's credits as well. Very good soundtrack. Almost all the boss fights have really great songs that are just, I don't know, they're just worth a listen. They're very energetic, and some of them a little bit more foreboding. They all have a really unique personality to them, and I think they fit each of the individual fights really, really well. This one included. This was really the first one where I noticed the music and was like, hey, this is awesome. I think the straps, the first ones is a little bit unmemorable. The straps is not unmemorable, but I guess I would not find myself listening to it because it's kind of more foreboding than anything. I wouldn't consider it a leisurely listen like I would this song, because this song's actually got like an energy and a vibe to it. Oh my goodness, yeah, he's a lot more a lot quicker with the pie attacks, and obviously you can see why I call him that. But yeah, so you have to react pretty quickly with this guy. There you go, get your hit in. Almost got him down to his final phase. Now his final phase is a doozy, and I can't wait to show it. But it was tough. Now I believe when I got the game overs on this guy, the 3 game overs, they were all on his second phase. That was actually the one that gave me the most trouble. This final phase just took me forever to figure out while I was in the middle of it. So this is an interesting phase. Now right here is one part. This you just have to dodge all these projectiles, but it gets better, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Gonna shoot out one of those rings at you. Oh, there we go. Oh, do it again. And again. Keep doing it over and over again. Yeah, you really have to kind of just have them chase you around. Now this is where it gets interesting. So right here, all these pillars are up. Now, you have to destroy all of them. Yes, it's the same exact concept as it was in the previous phases, but they all have to be destroyed. Of course, every pillar is now shooting projectiles back at you and using against you. Now, the thing is I couldn't figure out what was a dominant strategy here. Like, where can I stand in one spot? Because these don't actually shoot out projectiles in any specific direction. They just kind of go in all directions after you shoot them. On top of that, the more you shoot, the more crap he himself starts to throw at you. And in reality, there isn't a specific strategy to it. It's just kind of micromanaging all the stuff around you, possibly clearing a few out before you start to shoot at the pillars, and then just kind of standing in one spot and taking care of them. That's really all the best I can say about this spot. It's purely reactionary, paying attention to your character while also kind of just keeping your weapon focused in one general direction. So there goes that, and now he's disappeared. Now he's going to try to hit you, and you want to counter it and see. Actually, I think I'm supposed to hit him there. I think I screwed that up, actually. I think I was supposed to hit him there, and I screwed it up, and now I'm screwed. I was actually going to go after more health, because I think there was a close quarters phase, but I think I just screwed that up. Yes, I did. All right, so I lost a life and have to do that all over again. Great. I'm good at this. And see, yeah, that was also part of it. I believe I also messed that up as well when I tried him out, or when I beat him the first time. I totally didn't. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, that I should have just hit him as soon as I parried his one attack. I should have known better, but I didn't. I'm dumb. Oh well. But now you can kind of see it in action one more time, I guess. And I can just kind of laud the game's design. Now, something I would like to say about this game is the art. I believe the art direction is the same person who made the anime Afro Samurai, I believe. And you can kind of get that vibe based on the very, what would be the word for it? The way the characters' designs are, they're very jagged and very sharp in their designs. especially like the hair and whatnot. Everything's got a very pointy look to it, which I've never watched the anime myself, but I've seen, like, I saw a few adverts for it. I remember when it actually got advertised after the video game awards, like several years back, like when Samuel L. Jackson was hosting it, and I was flipping it on TV or something, and because stuff like that. But anyway, and I just remember it had a very poignant, pointy look to its art style, which is, you know, it's a little bit unique. I mean, don't get me wrong, all anime has got it's got a little bit of rough textures, but for the most part, it's pretty darn smooth looking. Like, everything's very fine in its art, like it's very fine lines and whatnot in anime, but this one exceptionally so, from what I remember, and you can totally see that in the art style here. So now we got to actually hit him, and there we go, that ends the fight. Hit him, and if you don't, you have to start the phase all over, so that's your consequence. Anyway, that's it for the line. Third boss beaten.
Look to the sky, stranger. Therein lies your answer.
There is no fate. We build our own destiny. Our man on the rocks, he knew a lot. He even figured out why you were sent to us. Look at the sky, he kept saying. The dot on the sun. But no one listened.
And we'll learn more in the next episode. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.